Action News Now Storm Tracker weather. Coverage you can count on.
Alan, this is just about the scariest time of year right now when we have wind events. You know, we had the fire in Oroville that we're just keeping an eye on right now. No rain in sight at all.
And in fact, we are still in the middle of that red flag warning right now. Let's get the very latest from Chief Meteorologist Jason Stiff.
Yeah, a lot of heat. This is not like October is supposed to be. We're supposed to be about 15 degrees cooler than we were today for most of the valley, but we still have lots of heat, lots of wind, lots of smoke and dust being blown around, and again, no good chances for any rain. A live look outside near Oroville. Now, we saw a lot more smoke from this 25-acre fire a little while ago. You can see the sun glinting off the Feather River right there, but thankfully far less smoke. All the warnings have been lifted from that fire, which is really good news for us, but the heat, it has not lifted. 93 degrees right now in Chico. The sustained wind of 25 miles an hour. We've had gusts up to 30. Redding, 92 degrees. Sustained wind at 23. Earlier, we had gusts to 44 miles an hour. Red Bluff, we've had gusts up to 40 miles an hour. Currently, sustained wind of 23 miles an hour and 93 degrees. Today's high has been 95 in Oroville. It's still windy. Sustained at 14, gusts to 22, and hot. 93 degrees right now, but thankfully, as you can see, a lot less smoke in the air from that latest fire. We're going to have hot and breezy weather again tomorrow, but thankfully it won't be as windy as today or yesterday. Temperatures, though, are still going to be way above average, between 85 and 95 degrees. Wind gusts up to 25 miles an hour, and humidity in general less than 25%. Our red flag warning continues until 11 o'clock tomorrow morning because of that gusty wind, the hot, dry air, the dry fuel obviously on the ground, and we're still going to have temperatures way above average for at least several more days. Right now, though, it's much more comfortable around Alturas and Mount Shasta, both in the upper 60s. It's in the 70s for Bernie and Chester, but elsewhere, even in Paradise, almost 90 degrees, 89 and 90s for the rest of the valley. Most of that wind, though, is still strong for the foothills and the valley, between 15 and 25 miles an hour with a lot of higher gusts. And there are no rain clouds currently over us and no rain clouds in the forecast either. We're going to have that wind gradually weakening, still breezy through the overnight hours into the noon hour tomorrow, and then it finally begins to weaken as we move into Friday afternoon, Saturday and Sunday. There's another chance for some gusty wind next Wednesday and Thursday when yet another disturbance moves over the Pacific Northwest toward California, but it's going to be missing us. We're just going to have that next inside slider. Here's also, can't forget this, our backyard forecast. This one for Paradise. Dale's backyard looking pristine with no leaves out there, but probably have a few more leaves blowing around tonight through tomorrow. Your forecast for tomorrow, still very warm for October. Upper 80s for Paradise for tomorrow afternoon, so keep that in mind. Make sure you send in your backyard photos. Also, I'd love to give you your backyard forecast. For the northern mountains tonight, we'll have lows in the 30s and 40s. Highs tomorrow will be warm, 70s and 80s for the Cascades and the Sierra. Also expecting lots of 70s and 80s for highs after some chilly starts, mainly 20s and 30s tomorrow morning. For the Ridge, still windy through the overnight hours. Breezy tomorrow afternoon, highs in the 70s and 80s for the valley tonight. Also not falling very far tonight despite that clear sky. The breezes will continue. Overnight lows in the 60s, highs return to the 90s tomorrow afternoon. And for the Chico area, lows will also be very mild. It's going to be a breezy, unsettled night. Lows in the 60s, highs in the lower 90s for your Friday afternoon. Next 7 days in Chico, there is a cooling trend going from the lower 90s tomorrow and Saturday to the upper 70s by Thursday, but thankfully not as windy once we get past Friday afternoon. And for Redding, lower 90s tomorrow and Saturday, 80s all the way through next Thursday, but thankfully much more seasonable.
All right, thanks, Jason. Well, local